Remember about a month ago when I got that white-lipped python and he bit me like 5 or 6 times within 10 minutes? In today's video, I'm gonna show you why that wasn't a big deal and where we are now. And if you don't remember it, here's a little refresher.
Bruh. Yikes. Woo.
So he definitely didn't like me at first. That happened for 2 big reasons. Number one, he's a little tiny snake. So to him, everything's a predator, especially a big, hairy monkey type person like myself staring down at him. That we were already off to a bad start. Number 2, he had just been shipped overnight, so he was already stressed, and I got him out and immediately had these lights on him because I thought I was gonna make this fun cinematic intro. I mean, it was fun and cinematic, but it was not fun to him. And so as soon as he locked onto that camera and the lights and everything, it was just downhill, bad situation. But that's okay because we've been doing a lot of work and he's in a good place now. Actually, let's go get him out and I'll show you. Here he is, all settled in. If you'll notice his posture just in general, it's so much more chill. He's not coiled up, he's not striking, he's exploring. He's got those long tongue flicks, which we love to see. And like, look, he's so iridescent. Like, how can you not just love this little dude? Before I talk about how I got him to this point, I want to talk to you about snake bites and why they're not something to worry about when you have a non-venomous animal like this. Snake's teeth are sharp, and you might think that is a bad thing, but it's actually great because when a snake bites you, you don't really feel them go in. You just kind of feel the pressure of something hitting your skin, and then they're out because usually it's a defensive strike. Snakes strike for 2 reasons. One, they feel threatened and they're defensive and they strike out at you and then they pull away. Or 2, they think you're food and they bite on and they coil up in the case of pythons and try to eat you. But this little guy didn't think I was food. He was just defensive. So he bit me a couple times really quickly. It didn't really hurt. It was just the shock, the anticipation of seeing him ready to strike and then striking is the scariest part. The actual bite, there's little blips of blood on my skin, like little tiny red marks, but that's it. Had I not seen those little red dots on me, I wouldn't have even realized that he had bitten me. That's how little it actually hurt. For most keepers and what most people keep, we generally really don't need to worry about snake bites from our pet snakes in the hobby. This is not counting venomous snakes or some of the very, very big retics or Burmese or anacondas out there. I wouldn't want to take a bite from those. And actually, in all likelihood, you're more likely to get bitten by a cat or a dog than you ever are a snake. So let's talk about what I did after he bit me to get him to this point where he's just cruising with these nice long tongue flicks less than 2 months afterwards. So the first thing I did was I put on gloves. And some people may not like this suggestion because they think that the gloves are different than human hands and they should get used to your hands. Well, guess what? I was anticipating a bite from him, and when I had the gloves on, I was more likely to try to pull away or do something that might cause nerves in him. So the gloves were just peace of mind. First couple times I handled him, he was so bitey, he was striking at the wind. It's nice to have the gloves on and not worry about being bitten, because that way he knows if he bites me, he doesn't get a reaction and it's no big deal. Which gets me to the second point, which is always end handling on a good note. So in those early handling sessions where he tried to bite me, I never ended on the bites. I always made sure I would handle him long enough that he would calm down and relax and we would get some good time in. And then as soon as he was looking comfortable and relaxed, I would put him back. I love the analogy that snake handling is kind of like every time you hold a snake to socialize it, it's kind of building a thread of trust. And the more positive threads you build, the more trust and socialization that animal will have. And so you always want to end on a good note. Get them feeling comfortable, and then when they are and they feel relaxed, put them back in their enclosure in a nice way and call it a day. Speaking of enclosures, when I first got him, I had him in a smaller enclosure where he could see out of the sides, which was a little too much for him. Every time I'd put him back, he'd get super defensive, and all that work of handling kind of went out the door because he would start striking at the enclosure. That's how bad it was. After about a week of that, I got a enclosure that was more opaque, so he couldn't see out of the sides, and a rack system gives him plenty of room, but also makes him feel really safe when he's in there. So as soon as I put him back and I close the enclosure, he feels safe, he wasn't striking. And that honestly is one of the biggest things that has changed his demeanor towards me, was moving him into that opaque container where he wasn't having enclosure stress. Consistency. I made sure to handle this guy every other day, every 2 days, pretty much without fail, just so we could build all those threads of trust. And as he started to feel more and more comfortable getting out and stopped striking at me when I was getting him out of his enclosure, I moved to 1 glove so he could feel my hand on him. And then I moved to no gloves. And by the time I had moved to no gloves and just free handling like I am now, he wasn't biting at all, which is amazing. He was still a little tense, but he wasn't bitey, which we love. Right now, you can see he's just exploring. He hasn't bitten. He hasn't got defensive at all since I've had him out. And I've had him in front of this camera the whole time. Here's a tip for you. When snakes feel defensive and bitey, oftentimes they'll lock their tail around your finger or wrist or hand. And that's so they have an anchor so they can strike from. And if you take one hand and help unwind that and straighten their body out so it's long, like his body is now, its body language can kind of inform its attitude. So you can kind of change its entire attitude sometimes just by adjusting its body language with your hands, which is kind of awesome. Some of you may be lucky with ball pythons or some more docile snakes, and you may never get bitten, which is great. If you do, don't freak out. You don't want to injure it by jerking away. Try to adjust attitude and relax and end on a good note of handling. Or if you're still freaking out, gently put your snake back in its enclosure, wash wherever the bite area was, but don't worry, you'll be fine. This little dude has done absolutely wonderful filming today, so I'm gonna give him a break and put him back in his enclosure. I'm sure he loves all this sunshine. It's so good for him. Please hold. Whew, what an absolutely amazing animal. Who would have thought that when I got him 6 weeks ago that he was gonna ended up taming out and being so social so quickly? And to be honest, when I got him out for this video, I realized that I haven't really filmed him or had him in front of a camera much. And sometimes the camera, the mechanisms it uses for autofocus, like LiDAR or whatever, sometimes it can freak them out and trigger them. And I was a little bit worried while I was filming that he was gonna get triggered and I was gonna be making this video about socializing him and how great he's doing, and him end up biting me for the first time in 6 weeks. But he did so good, and it just goes to show you what consistent socialization can do for an animal, even ones from a species that has a terrible reputation. What else? I'd love to know. Drop in the comments and let me know which other animals, which other snakes or reptiles have the worst reputations. Personally, for me, the reason I got the northern white-lipped python was because it had such a bad reputation, and I thought it was going to be more of a challenge, to be honest, but Tyson's great. Also, we named him Tyson because he bites. Do me a favor and hit that subscribe button below. That's the only metric I have for knowing you guys are enjoying these videos, and it means a lot to me. So do that, hit the like button, turn on the notification bell, all that good stuff. We got some fun videos coming. I gotta get Tara back in a video. I think we got some collabs coming up. Who knows, we'll see. That's everything for today's video. So hope you liked it, and we will catch you soon. Peace. Oh yeah, what do you like about filming outdoors? This feels nice when we have sun and everything to be outside and filming. Why not?